Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 140.
140.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by Theme Park Connection in Orlando, Florida.
And there's some big doings this week with Theme Park Connection online.
Right, they're going to have an online auction on Saturday, so check them out on their Facebook page.
And also, we will be announcing the winner of the $20 gift certificate next week. We're doing the show just a little bit early this time.
Right, and PixieVacations.com. They keep tabs on your Disney vacation for the best deals, so you don't have to, whether it is the cruise, Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Adventures by Disney, or wherever you would like to travel. Plus, they do not just Disney.
And starting next week, we're going to have that giveaway, so more information next week. Also, Maple Leaf Tickets, the best deals on tickets in town. Check them out. We're going to start off this week's show at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort. Big doings there.
Well, the lobby opened a few months ago, but the Tiki had not been placed yet on the fountain, and that was something we knew would come around April 1st, so about a week early than that.
And I love this Tiki. He looks great, although everyone's sort of naming him Shrug because it looks like he's sort of shrugging. But at this point, he was undecorated. He wasn't holding the leis that just today went in.
Right. Was it today? I know in the last day or so they went in and they look terrific. We have not seen them in person. But everybody's sort of been making fun of that.
You know, I love this
and
guy.
And the belly button.
I think the belly... What happens if you hit that belly button?
I don't know. I don't think I can reach it.
We have both seen this image growing up. I mean, in the 70s, they had a flat image of him. But it's so nice to see him in 360-degree fleshed out form. I think he's really cool.
And everybody wants like a plush or just something of him, so we'll see if they come out with like a merchandise line.
One thing, though, that is very interesting, there is no official name. No official name. Now,
That's what you were told.
I was thinking maybe we call him the Tiki Man, but no, I believe that name has been used somehow.
Yes, we know the Tiki Man. He has a terrific website.
So since there is no official name, we decided we're going to have a little contest. We're going to give away some really cool postcards that are given away out at the Polynesian Village front desk.
Right. And by March 31st at midnight, just let us know what you would name him.
That's right. It'll be just for fun, but we'd love to find out what the Mousesteps viewers think this Tiki Man here should be named.
Right, on our Facebook page, the Mousesteps Facebook page, just let us know, and then we'll send out the postcards. We'll announce it next week.
So what else is going on at the Poly?
Well, while we were there was an open mouse, so they were showing cast members all kinds of stuff like Trader Sam's and talking about the pool area, which we'll be talking about in just a moment.
Although there was a change in the opening date of the pool area, they're talking about mid-April at this point.
Right, I mean, up until now it was like April 1st. It looked like it was going to happen, but it doesn't look like that anymore.
So speaking of the pool area, here is some concept art they were showing to everybody this day. We're going to look at the upper left-hand corner first, and you can see the Trader Sam's Grog Grotto patio, and beneath that is the kids' play area, and beneath that little green area there, you can see a movie screen. There's people watching the movie, so that's going to be the new area that they show movies. And also you could see that the whole pool area itself is enclosed by a fence. You'll need to have your magic band or a key card, whatever they use. Also, you could see there's a magic band. You could see there's a jacuzzi. For the first time ever, a jetted tub there.
Can you believe that Disney's Polynesian Resort hasn't had one?
I know. Well, speaking of awesomeness, though, Trader Sam's, that's the big thing.
They were supposed to open today sort of as a preview, but it might not because they're a little behind, especially on the patio.
Right. And we're looking at the patio now. This was just a few days ago. You could see they have a lot of the Tiki gods, very reminiscent of the Tiki room at Disneyland.
Right? I mean, it has a 20,000 Leagues, some of that theming.
So we're going to look at some concept art from inside Trader Sam's Grog Grotto, and you could see this is Aoa. Aoa was a character that used to be in the Tiki room under new management, and when you order the Aoa drink, she will be illuminated.
I don't really remember that much because I hated the attraction, and we have these two over here that look like little kids drinking out of their...
It's an adult couple, clearly, drinking from their Nautilus. Nautilus is a drink.
$52.
A very expensive drink, but you get to keep that super awesome Nautilus. I want one.
I know.
I will want one.
I know. I'm laughing at it, but we'll probably have one in the house very soon.
And you could see it has a 20,000 leagues overlay to the Tiki bar. You could sort of see the tentacle there. And I believe if you order a Nautilus, effects will happen. I don't want to give it all away, but you're going to feel like the whole bar is diving underwater.
Well, for the price, they need some effects too. But then here you have the pearls coming out of the oyster.
That's right. It's another drink called the Pearl. So we'll have lots and lots more of Trader Sam's
probably next week.
Let's talk about the hours of operation.
They're, I believe, 4 to 12. But after 8, it becomes 21 and older only, although we've been told that's only inside the bar. But we'll see. You know, it hasn't opened yet.
Right. And we also have been told it will be a pager system, so you're not going to have people lined up down the hall waiting to get into Trader Sam's. And you can order drinks at the outside bar, and you'll be able to bring them into the lobby or, you know, hang around outside on the patio, from what we've heard anyway.
Right. Or some food items, too. But I wish they opened a little bit earlier. 1 or 2, I think, would be better.
I agree. So let's talk about the bungalows. Very exciting. We actually had a friend of ours have a tour in the Bora Bora Bungalows.
Right. There are 20 of them. We want to thank Matt. We'll just say Matt D.
Yes.
I don't know if he wants his name mentioned here. But he had some photos that he shared with us. We really appreciate that.
We mixed them in with the official photos. You could see this is one of the official Disney photos of inside the bungalows. This is the master bedroom there.
And you can see there's also the orange bird up there and other little details. And the one thing I would love an hour in here just to take pictures. Like we are so, like when we do photos and video, we'll take every little tiny thing.
Yeah, we like to see all the details. So I think we'll get there.
I hope
why don't
so.
we talk, what else do you have about the bungalows?
Well, there's 2 full bathrooms, a kitchen, a washer and dryer. There's the plunge pull out back, which we'll see. And then electrical water pageant viewing. And then the Wishes music is piped in. And I don't know if it's piped inside or just onto the deck.
Well, speaking of the electrical water pageant, you can see the pull-out bed there has a very familiar background to it. There it is. That's something that's been going since 1971. The electrical water pageant. I love it. One thing about these bungalows is there could be an issue with sound because you have these boats coming by, and I know when we're there, you hear the horns. We've been at the Four Seasons, and you hear the boats, sound their horns when they leave. So I don't
always wear earplugs anyway.
Right. But you'll have fireworks and the water pageant. So we'll have to find out when it opens if that is truly a concern. Let's look outside here on the patio. I love the look of those chairs.
I would love to sit there and look at the Magic Kingdom all day long.
Now, this is the famous plunge pool. It is not a jetted tub at all. It's simply a pool. We don't know if it's hot water or cold water. I think on a really hot summer day, though, a hot, a cool pool would be a little nicer.
I don't like cool pools like ever. So for me, like I always like the jetted tub. So if I was, staying there, that would be what I'd prefer.
We'll have much more next week on the Bora Bora Bungalows, that's for sure. So our next stop is here at the Magic Kingdom.
And I think the floral looks better and better every week.
It looks gorgeous. It was a beautiful day, although I don't think this will be so beautiful to you.
Well, no, because the Rose Garden was my favorite area of the Magic Kingdom, and I don't think it's going to come back as nicely as it. And I love the hub. I think they did a great job with the hub, but I think the Rose Garden was something special, and I'm not thrilled that they, ended it.
Well, it was really a hidden gem for us. We've had such good times. I'm glad we brought my family there the very last time they were in town to watch the fireworks. But you could see the differences. They took the walkway that was still there last week that you used to be able to take to go down to where the swan boat area was. That's gone. From this concept art, you can sort of see what the new hub will look like. There'll be a cut through right there. So it really... I don't see any flowers, so I don't know if it will even be a rose garden.
Well, we see flowers. I think there are, just we don't know if they'll be roses or what. But the sea serpent does look very nice, and we've been asked why he's not in blue for water. But I think the pink really makes him pop, and I think that part looks great. I mean, they've been adding flowers all around the hub. It looks very nice.
And he matches Mickey at the entrance.
Yes.
So this is another example of the hub, the continuous hub work there, and it looks like they'll have another cutaway like we just saw from the concept art in that section as well. Let's move on. We had reservations at Be Our Guest for the new breakfast, and why don't you can tell us what happened.
Well, we had reservations about keeping our reservations, so we canceled because we also had a friend, Dave Drumhiller, check him out at WDW Guided Tours.
Right.
And he already had been there, and he let us use some of his photos to share.
And we had spoke to many other friends who did try it, and really the consensus was that it wasn't a good value. We don't mind spending money for a good quality if there's good value, but there didn't appear to be a good value as far as the breakfast experience. It was quite rushed.
It was $20.
It was $20 per entree, and you'll see we're going to show a selection of the food. It just didn't seem enough to make it worth the investment for us.
And it didn't really seem like a healthy start to the day. We'll do Tonga toast occasionally, but this is they start with this.
Yes, well, every group of 4 or less gets to share one of these plates of croissants and rolls and things like that. And then this is actually the eggs Florentine with spinach, ham, and plum tomatoes. I probably would have ordered that.
I wouldn't have ordered that. Like, I would have ended up ordering what you would call a cronut.
That's this right here, the croissant donut.
But then I would have had pastries and then a cronut, and then I would have been like, I would have been in shock.
Now, it also includes a beverage, if you ask for an orange juice, they'll give you a orange juice, and then you could go up and get a soda or something. So it's better to ask, if you do this, it's better to ask for an orange juice or a juice.
I didn't know that.
That's a little tip I've learned from others that have done this.
And this is some sort of a quiche?
Vegetable quiche. Anyway, we feel that the better value is if you want to go to the Wave or Trails End or pretty much anywhere.
Almost anywhere else.
Yes. But speaking of value and changes, this is something else that's new. It is the newly enhanced dessert party at the Magic Kingdom.
Which
the Wishes.
Doubled in
now
price.
It's called the Wishes. Well, the enhancement is currently $25.99. Starting July 5th, it goes up to $49.99. And you have your enhanced
Olaf,
cupcakes with Olaf there, and you get now sparkling cider.
And it's sparkling cider. It is not alcohol, because a lot of guests online were saying like, oh, well, we don't drink alcohol, so can we get a cheaper price? But sparkling cider is not there's no alcohol.
There's no cheaper price, I'll tell you that. But I like the cheese and crackers, whatever.
You'd have to eat a lot though for $50.
For the same money, well, actually almost the same money, we would recommend Cinderella's Royal Table. It's a character meal for lunch, $60, $10 more, and you get a full experience rather than just the dessert party. Anyway, that's our thoughts on those matters. We decided we are going to review the West fireworks viewing this week, and let's go ahead and give them our magic band and see what happens.
And it was different this week in that we were told ahead of time that everybody would be told to stand before the Celebrate the Magic show. That didn't happen, but everybody was told to stand before Wishes. Last week, everybody sat, and it was very nice. And it wasn't that it wasn't nice this week, but I think that everybody should be allowed to sit if they choose to.
Now, we did get there early, and that's why when I showed my annual pass, it showed blue. If you get there before the correct time, they will still let you in, but they have to check on their iPad that you're okay. And you'll notice I got the thumbs up, so I was okay.
And, it is a very nice way to just come in, and there's not too many guests, and we could sit on the ground or whatever. But again, there's guests, like you'll see, there's guests behind here, and they are standing. So if you're standing, they may yell at you to sit down, even if you're told to stand up.
So this area here that I'm showing you is where we decided the best place, or one of the best places, would be to show the viewing of the Main Street Electrical Parade. Just like we did last week, we're going to show that off. This is right before the parade started. You could see there weren't that many people still there. Now, the parade was at 9, fireworks was at 10, and Celebrate the Magic was at 9:40.
Right, and I actually wanted to be sort of in the corner, but I ended up standing where Jeff was. But it isn't bad. It isn't the place. If you have never seen the Main Street Electrical Parade, I wouldn't stand here. I would actually want to be on the street. If there's a second parade, that's where I would want to do it. And but you could see Tinkerbell, and especially like this and Festival of Fantasy Parade have a lot of higher floats, so it isn't. You can still see quite a bit.
Right. It wasn't horrible. If I had to choose one or the other, I think I would choose East, because East is elevated higher, so you actually can see over all the crowd at the on the street.
But this isn't bad for some. We've seen this parade all our lives, so it's not like we have to have a spot on the, especially not, I mean, it's crowded for the first parade here.
Right.
So where we were was fine.
I consider it a bonus. It's something to sort of pass the time while you're waiting. We always like to get places early, and we had a mission, and the mission was to document the whole proceedings. So for us, it was a bonus. Not bad. I really think that, it's not too bad of a view.
Right. But, we've been asked also, do we recommend that guests get this, the Wishes viewing? And I don't know if I would recommend it, because if you can get like Mine Train or something, I would say that.
Well, let's not jump ahead too much. We'll get to our
views.
verdict. But this is that other area that you wanted to go at the very beginning in the corner, which is nice. But then you have a tree that sort of blocks you. This is where we ended up spending most of our time. It's dead center, just like we did last week. And there's a tree behind us, so we wouldn't block anybody if we stood, although they said everybody will be standing. This is what it looks like from dead center. Still not bad for the parade.
Right. And again, this was a decent experience for us, but everybody, by the end of the day, they want to sit down. This is during Celebrate the Magic. This is the type of view you had. Everybody's like, on the ground.
Well, this is before Celebrate the Magic right now. We're just waiting here, but you can see it's not overly crowded. They did tell us they increased the capacity this week, and that's why they're making everybody stand for the fireworks. We were originally told they were going to make everybody stand for Celebrate the Magic, but that did not happen. Here is what it looks like at the very beginning of Celebrate the Magic.
And we were told that they increased the capacity, but at the same time, they also said about 25% of guests were not showing up.
Right.
So they're really testing it to see, how many they should be inviting every night to come in.
So we're right in the middle, and we are standing in the back, and this is our view of Celebrate the Magic. Not bad.
Right, and there was a few guests standing, but actually almost everybody is sitting. And for Celebrate the Magic, obviously they're not seeing everything, but they're seeing enough, I guess, in their seated position.
Right, and now the guest in front of us was actually standing on the curb that goes around the tree in the middle, so that's actually higher than the person is tall. So even with that, we still had a good view. So I can't complain about the viewing. Depending on where you go, the lights could be in the way. We picked a spot where you can see the castle without the lights. Now here is right before the fireworks. This cast member is telling everyone time to get up.
I will say at least a couple dozen guests ended up
They did not heed his advice.
Well, some of them sat back down or whatever because, again, it's the end of the day and you can see the fireworks if you're sitting.
Well, the thing is, it wasn't that crowded. So
right.
Once he left and the show started, people can realize they could still see. So even now, there's people sitting on the ground.
Right, and that continued. More and more guests were sitting. Most still stood, but I think they should have a rule. Maybe sitting. Right. At least in a lot of it, I think sitting is fine.
Now, if it was packed to the gills,
then
I think for safety reasons, they would probably make sure everybody did remain standing. But here is the view, our view from center, from the back. Once again, not any special elevation of the fireworks, and not bad, really. I mean, and you can see everyone is kind of, they're not being crushed. There's plenty of body space there to enjoy Wishes.
I did too, but I couldn't like last week or the last time I was able to use a tripod, and I would have needed a much bigger tripod this time around.
And again, there are people still sitting and enjoying the show. Wishes is always fun. Let's talk about, would we recommend it? My thought is I would not recommend it because it would be better served, I think, to use your fast passes in the morning and then continue to get more and more fast passes. If you're a local and you have fast pass plus to burn, why not give it a try? There's just no guarantee. I mean, you could go and it's packed. You can go and it's empty. They're still testing. I don't think they know for sure what the end result of all of these this will be. I
think for some guests it's worth it, especially those who haven't really seen Wishes before. But at the same time, I wouldn't recommend using FastPass from like 9 to 10 if the park opens at 9 because you can get on attractions. But after that, use your 3 at that time, and then you can during the day, you can stand in line and get another fast pass.
Right, and another. So, but again, it all depends on your individual situation. Now, of course, the Wishes fireworks have ended, and here is the big exit of the night. Look at all those people trying to get out right now.
This is why we do not leave. Even if we're not doing an attraction, we'll just kind of stay around. Maybe we'll pop in a store, even though it's very crowded.
Well, I sort of took one for the team. I would never normally put myself in the midst of all this bedlam, but I did because we had viewers who wanted to see the bypass area.
Right, and you didn't get the whole thing, but some of the bypass area is sort of finished, and then some of it doesn't look so finished, so I know you were working on trying to make sure you just showed more of the
Well, I'm not really
ready.
Interested in showing the backstage. I wanted to show the finished area, and you could see up on the walls back there, there is actual brickwork being done. It's going to be called
Market Street.
Market Street,
is
a
what we were
nod
told.
to the Market Street at Disneyland. And, I think it's fine. It doesn't look bad, but it will have a permanent look, and we're going to get to that very soon. But it'll have a permanent look like a park setting, as you can see up here. There's railing, there's trees. Once they get it fully done, it will be a on-stage area, basically.
I mean, it sort of is now. Normally, we wouldn't have taken photos and video of a backstage area. Like a couple of years ago, this was only backstage, and sometimes you'd get to go through it, and you couldn't take any photos unless they had, like, one time they had parade floats back here you could take pictures of. But it really looks, it'll be very nice.
And if you can do it, it is the way to go, because it is absolute pandemonium bedlam on Main Street trying to go down.
But it's better not to go out at this time.
Yeah. The bottom line is, relax. Stay in the park. Don't even try to fight the crowd out right after fireworks, because it's very nutty.
You can either stand around in the Magic Kingdom or you can stand in a line for like the monorail. Why not hang out in the Magic Kingdom, even just maybe do one ride and then head out?
Complete opposite of what you just saw, the relaxing and serene setting of Disney's Grand Floridian. We are here at the chocolate Easter egg display. I wish we could give the smell of this lobby to the viewers, because it smelled so good. I wanted to have a chocolate egg after this.
And this is the 4th year that they have had this. They did do Easter eggs before around the restaurants, but this is the 4th year they've actually made a display of it in the lobby.
And there are some returning eggs. There's some brand new eggs. These first two were returning, I believe.
I don't remember this one.
Right. And if you are a fan of dogs, there is a lot of Disney dogs.
Including Bolt.
Yes, Bolt. That's correct. We will see Bolt.
And there's Tinkerbell. I don't remember her from previous years.
No, she is new, and as well as, as you said before, Cinderella's Golden Coach is also new. And I think that's sort of the big, the star, if you will, the centerpiece of the display.
Well, of this particular display, because usually they put all the eggs up here, but now they have them all around the lobby.
Oh, yes.
So this is sort of the centerpiece of this section, but it is not the main centerpiece of the whole
I
display.
Forgot. There's one especially nice
one that I love
display that we're going to see. And there
Lady and the Tramp has been here a few years now.
So now we're going to see the backside of eggs.
And the one thing is with the new displays, some of them you can't see the backside. I'm glad that they have most of them still where you can.
Now, I find this to be very exciting. It's Ratigan and characters from The Great Mouse Detective, something that you don't see very often.
Right. I think it's nice when they bring in characters who are a little more, not as popular, as famous out.
Yes, like Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story.
Oh, well, Buzz Lightyear, everybody loves Buzz Lightyear.
And Lady and the Tramp, that's another beautiful one. These mainly were the painted eggs, and I think they put them there for a reason so you could see the backside. Any of you had to show the dog. How awesome
These are some of my favorites.
Right.
I can't even imagine that they're chocolate.
Yeah, and you would never want to eat one of those.
No, I
wouldn't. Even you, who normally will eat any kind of chocolate item with no sentimentality.
Never. Wouldn't touch it.
You wouldn't take a bite off of the dog?
Never.
That's
I
good.
would just leave them sitting like on the coffee table.
There is Bolt. We've been asked many times
to
try
meet
to
Bolt.
Track down Bolt.
But there's no Bolt in the park.
No,
only
we
here.
cannot find that. That's the best you're going to get for Bolt right there.
Unless it's just like a very special occasion.
So we talked about the big centerpiece this year, and we're about to see it, a nod to the new DVC villas of the Grand Floridian.
Right, and this is... If you've ever seen the penguin fountain, they have more penguins, but this is I mean, this really looks like it. I did a side-by-side on my on the website.
And we'll link to that article.
And, you know, this one especially looks just like that one. And it really looks sort of like a bronzish. They did such a great job with this. So it really looks so much like the fountain.
And you have to realize all of this is made out of chocolate, except, you know, the sugar representing the water. But everything is made out of chocolate. Just amazing how finely detailed it is.
And I guess the egg is on top. It's now like a pineapple.
Right. Right.
And Elsa's back. That is from last year as well. And here are the eggs that you can't really see the back of as much.
Well, these are more of the fancy, traditional Easter style eggs, if you ask me. I think they're very, very beautiful, though. You don't necessarily need to see the back of any of these eggs. There's not much to the back. I did take a look. The other eggs we're about to see did have back.
A couple of them did.
But and of course the very famous Elsa egg.
And I really like look at the peacock, which is amazing.
Beautiful, very intricate.
And the peacock, like when they do the animals especially, they really seem to, those are the ones that I think impress me the most.
I mean, all those feathers, chocolate. Right down to the little bit that's going down. That is hard chocolate. It is not a real feather. Is it chocolate?
Because
yes.
some of it is like fondant. Is it called fondant? I don't
Correct.
know that much difference. But a lot of that is, or some of it is other stuff. Oh, there's a new Hercules on the left-hand side there.
And there he is with Meg. I think that's a great addition.
Is there anything on the back of that one?
No, not much on the back of that one. So, you know, they were smart to put these over here. Some of them had a little bit of backing, but we were able to see them, and we will show that to you as well.
It was a little bit harder on the Belle one, which we'll see in a moment. I believe that might be a returning egg. And we have another Cinderella here.
This is the inside of the Cinderella egg. You can just see how detailed it is.
And they start as 12 to 16 inch hollow eggs, and then 9 to 12 pounds, and they get, you know, heavier and heavier as they keep adding to them. Some of them probably get pretty heavy.
They are just beautiful. I know this Peter Pan egg is also new for this year.
And on the back, we'll see also, there's something on the back here, which is very hard to see unless you get into the kids area. But they did a great job with it.
And that would be his pirate ship. And we will see that. This is from, well, actually, you see Merida here.
I believe this is the third year of the Brave one. And this is new for this year. And I think actually the back is even nicer than the front. Not that the front isn't nice, but I think the artwork on the back is beautiful.
It's very beautiful. I love it. A nod to the rose in Beauty and the Beast.
Yes, and on the back we'll see Beauty and the Beast themselves.
At the very beginning of the movie Beauty and the Beast, you see the scene we're about to see here that sort of sets the stage for the film, and there they are.
I don't know how you got the tail as old as time. I wasn't able to get, maybe you're a little taller, I wasn't able to get the tail, but this is the back, and it's very hard to see. And this is the back of the Brave, right? We've seen this one before, so, you know, we have photos already of that.
And there's the little chocolate pirate ship, which really most people are not able to see. I mean, we can see it because of the zoom lens. But anyway, there's more. We're going to link in the show notes to the rest of the tour of the chocolate eggs, but we love it. Very similar, in a way, to the gingerbread. You know, very creative.
Yes, and it is by the same bakery team. They do a great job.
Hold on. You know what?
What?
That's another show.
That's another show.
Thanks very much to PixieVacations.com, our official travel agency.
Yep. Check them out for the best deals at Walt Disney World.
And giveaways every week starting next week.
Yes. And Maple Leaf Tickets.
Best deals on tickets in town. Make sure you check them out. And also Theme Park Connection, our original sponsor.
Right. And they have their online auction on Saturday.
So anyway, thanks again for listening and have a great week.
Have a great week.